Hi, within this lecture, we're going to focus on a vulnerability called file inclusion vulnerability. So open your DVWA as regular and come to here this section, file inclusion. And you will see that this takes in a parameter called include.php. It is trying to load a web page called include.php. It's trying to access a file. Okay, when you see something like this, you can try to test for file inclusion vulnerabilities. I'm going to show you what it means in a minute, don't worry. What we're going to do basically is try to access the other files and other folders inside of that web server using this question mark page argument. Okay, we're not going to have a session, we're not going to hack into that web server, but rather we're trying to get some information and display the content of the other files and folders on the same web server. And in order to do that, I'm going to test some common methods in here. First of all, I'm going to delete this page, delete this question mark page from here, and I will just try to load include.php regularly. Okay, so right now it takes in include.php as a parameter and tries to load this. So delete this, okay, and just hit enter and try to run this include.php. And as you can see, it says that fatal error, and it has an undefined function, but it shows us where this include.php is located, or it shows us where are we trying to get with this command. Okay, so here we see the general content, general folder on the web server. So right now we know this var w dvwa vulnerabilities fee and include.php. So let me try this way. Okay, so this is the default parameter question mark page is equal to this. So this works as well. So right now I know where this include.php is located on that web server. And maybe you can think that most of the websites do not give some extended error messages, okay? They do not give where their file is located on their web server. Actually, we don't even need that information, but I'm going to show you so that you can understand better. So I'm trying to get every possible information. For example, if you delete this, okay, if you delete include.php, you can try to get the content of this folder. And if it doesn't work out, you can try to get the content of the vulnerabilities. And it seems that we cannot display those folders, we cannot get the contents, because in this case we have to make sure that we are trying to reach a file rather than a folder. And I'm going to show you a common file that can be found on Linux systems. It's called password file. Okay, if you go to your computer, if you find the etc, okay, in this etc folder you will see a file called password. So let me search for it. Let me scroll down a little bit and search for password. By the way, here we have some other common files as well, but password file of course contains some sensitive information, so I'm trying to reach that file. I will try to reach that file in the web server as well. It hashes the passwords, in fact, so we cannot get the passwords, but we can see the registered users on the same web server. So let me try to reach that folder. So page is etc password and not passf passd. Okay, so as you can see, we can actually see the content of the password file. So now I can see the registered users. I can see if there is any other user having root privileges. I don't know if we have a test user as well, so we can use this information in our web pen testing process. And also I can try to reach other files and read the content of them as well. So this file inclusion vulnerability doesn't only give us opportunity to gather information, but also we can gather really sensitive information before hacking into, or without even hacking into, in the web server. And if it doesn't work out this way, you can try this. Okay, so this was the original page. Okay, so the fee, and we had the include.php at the end. This is the original web page. So rather than having these folders, I can just delete this, and I can try to replace these folders with dots. Okay, so it means that go back one folder, as if we are running cd command. So I can replace all of this with dots. Okay, so this one as well, and then later on I can add etc password at the end of this sentence, and then hit enter. It will display the password contents again for me. So I hope you enjoyed the basic vulnerabilities. Now we're going to stop here, and within the next section we're going to focus on cross-site scripting vulnerabilities.